You know how they tell you to love yourself, this and that, but you tell yourself these things and you still don't believe it, you still don't love yourself, you still taking actions that don't align with you loving yourself. And I tell you this, but what I come to conclusion about is that you have to have some type of deep dislike about yourself, and you have to own it. You have to admit that. You have to admit that, you quote unquote don't like yourself, you don't love yourself. Because it's easier said than done, just to keep saying I love myself, whenever, damn well you don't. You don't like the circumstance you in, you don't like where you at in life right now. Be grateful, but at the same time, you want to be disgusted at the same time about everything, including with yourself, because it's like, I'm better than this, So Napoleon Hill has called this improvement dissatisfaction, which is, you just keep on. Basically, in the book Success Through the Positive Mental Attitude, he states improvement dissatisfaction is, someone who just keeps failing and failing at something. So they become so dissatisfied and disgusted with it. They be like, you know what? I have to make a change. So what can I do now? And it all starts with your mind. Start with your mindset. Start, switching, your mindset from the negative mental attitude talisman to the positive mental attitude talisman. So, you want to start thinking on the positive side. So what I say do though, which is called improvement dissatisfaction. So sit there and just really analyze your life, analyze about, what you don't like about yourself, and then don't look at outside sources. Sometimes it is helpful though to have a self-image of someone you would want to be like, but what happens is that you try to align every single thing with that person, and if you don't, if you mess up and slip up, then you start to, quote unquote, start sabotaging yourself all over again, start having that disgust with yourself all over again. So what I say do is view yourself, as, look forward and be like, what would the person I would love and admire be doing right now? And then take actions from there. Will I be thinking this way if I was looking at basically coming up with your own person that you look up to. So sit there and think, you be like, okay, so I don't like myself, or I just like my situation, I don't like what's going on right now. So what's the version of me that I could look up to, admire, and love? And what action would I be taking? What would I be putting up with? How would I be reacting to this situation? How would I be responding? How would I be walking? How would I be talking? What actions would I be doing? And then you go from there, so you could have better results within your life, and like I said though, and then you start to love yourself and result, because now you actually align yourself with someone that you love and that you admire, and you become that, eventually. So that's why I say do though. So you just have to have, be grateful, but also disgusted with everything in yourself at the same time. So dislike about yourself, having dislike about yourself, not liking yourself, not loving yourself is a positive thing if you transmute it in the right way. If you do it in the right way, because you could either you be like, you know what, I'm dissatisfied with myself, I don't like this shit, fuck it, I'm making a change. And then you see yourself, okay, this is the person that I perceive that, okay, I respect this person, I love this person, okay, I want to be that. So what actions can I take to do that? And then you take action from there. Or you can use your negative mental attitude talisman and be like, man, fuck this, I'm just going to stay here, I'm just going to keep sabotaging myself, going to keep on just doing things that's going to deter me. So you could choose either side, the negative mental attitude talisman or the positive mental attitude talisman. Always choose the positive mental attitude talisman, because in every quote unquote adversity, there's always a positive in it. If you could identify with, but you have to, clear your mind out. You have to be thinking right, like I said. So the best results for that is just sitting in the silence and just really analyzing everything, owning everything, taking accountability for everything in your life, and then you can move forward from there. So really it starts with accountability. But that's today's video. Peace.